For this exercise, we're going to be creating a spreadsheet like in Excel. To get started, click on the Create button and scroll down to select Spreadsheet. I'll click Continue for Create and Share. Once you get the document open, the first thing you want to do is save it with your desired naming convention. Go ahead and save it as your first name, dash, last initial, underscore, spreadsheet. So for me, it would look like this, and click OK. Taking a look at the layout, you'll notice a menu bar similar to Microsoft Office programs with File, Edit, and so on. And just under it are a series of formatting options going across the top. And under that is the grid for our spreadsheet. I also want to point out that Google Drive saves your file automatically every time you make a change, just like with emails, so that makes sure we don't lose any work as we build the spreadsheet. Okay, let's start our spreadsheet with a heading line. I'm going to go into this upper corner here, and with my cursor becoming a hand over this thick line, I'm going to drag it into the grid so that it separates the top column from the others. I'll explain that in a second. Let's go ahead and fill our first field with name and second field with, say, age. Why not? I'm going to scroll down, and you can see that as I scroll down, that thick line I moved has frozen the top column or the top row so that no matter how many entries I have, I can always see my header line. Now I can freeze more than one column if I want by simply putting my cursor over the line and dragging it where I want it to go. I can also freeze a row if I want by dragging the line from the corner over like so. I can also make a column taller by dragging the bottom of the column line down, but I don't want to do that, so I'm going to select Edit, Undo. Okay, let's continue with our spreadsheet. I'm going to get rid of age and put something in that can be calculated. Let's make a chart for a 2-day sales event. So in this first cell, let's put sales day 1, and in this cell, sales day 2. Then let's have a total sales column, and finally an average column. Nice. I'm going to start filling in the grid now, but first I want to unfreeze this first row. And let's put in some salespeople. Our first seller will be Jeremy Y. And let's make up some dollars and cents here. That sounds good. This is probably something like a bake sale, let's say. Now for total sales, I want to add these two values. So how do I do that? Well, the easy way for simple operations is to write in the totals column the equal sign, then click on the first cell, type in the plus sign, then click the second cell, and hit enter or return, and voila. Okay, let's type in our second seller. How about Aubrey? We'll put her in here and enter in the sales from each day. Okay, now to add up these numbers, we could repeat typing in the formula and clicking on the cells like we did last time. But there's a faster way to do this. You see how the bottom right corner of the cell has a blue rectangle and the cursor turns into a cross? You can click and drag from that point downward into the next cell, and it will copy the formula for the two sales numbers from the second row. It's much faster this way. So now let's enter our third and final seller, Brian, and put in his sales numbers and totals. And we're going to repeat the process for Aubrey's total and drag that formula down. There. Now let's say we want a daily average of each salesperson. So to do this, we'll select the cell we want, then go up to the Format toolbar and find the Functions button, and scroll down till we see Average. Now the instructions for the dialog box comes up for the average formula, and it tells us to select our values. We want these two cells, but we have to click one and drag into the other so that both are highlighted, and press Enter or Return. And now we're going to repeat that formula for the other two sellers by dragging the formula into the other cells using that blue rectangle. Okay. So what happens now if we want to make a group average? Let's try that. First, I'll go up here to average sales and change that wording to average daily just to make it clear what the average is. Then I'll click over here and put in group average. Now we want to go back to the formula button and select average again. What values do I want to average? I could select this row and get the group daily average, but I actually want to average the total sales, so I'll select this row over here. Hit enter or return, and done. The nice thing is that all of the formulas automatically update if you change any of the numbers. So let's say Jeremy comes up to me and says, I forgot a $10 sale I made on the first day. No problem. I change his total by adding the $10, hit enter, and there we go. Did you see the numbers change? I'm going to press Ctrl Z or Command Z on the Mac to undo the change, and watch the cells. Then go to Edit and Redo, and there we go. Now, what could happen if I sort these entries? Could that change things? I'll do that now by going to Data, Sort A to Z to put them in alphabetical order. Did you see what happened to the group average? Now that I rearranged the cells, the group average is not picking up all of the numbers and the average is in the wrong place. This is easily fixable. I just take the formula and drag it back down to its original position and remove the incorrect formula. There's a few last finishing touches we can try with formatting. We can make the top row stand out by putting it in bold. Also, we can change the color of the numbers that are important to us and say red so that they stand out too. So that's the start of a solid spreadsheet. Now it's your turn. Create a spreadsheet like the one in this video and feel free to make some changes, but make sure that you have at least 3 rows and 2 columns that are being added or multiplied, and at least 1 column where you are averaging numbers together. Also, change some of the formatting and colors so that important information stands out. Save it in the shared folder and then move on to the next exercise.